Matter webinar series. And I would welcome the presenter today for the day is Mr. Chetan Yu. I would just give a brief outline introduction about him. Mr. Chetan is born to be a retired army officer, Mr. E. Umapati and Mrs. MS Malati, the health assistant in the office, State Office Corporation. And he also has a brother and who is pursuing his BSA in MS Ramaya College. And his qualifications are he has completed his diploma in hardware networking in ITI. He has also completed his BCom, Bachelor of Commerce, and also Bachelor of Commerce in Journalism and Mass Communication from Geetham University. And he has completed a MBA HR specialization in 2018 from MS Ramaya College of Ramaya Institute of Management, Art Science and Ramaya Institute of Management Studies are alumni, and he's in the batch of 2016 to 18. He is also a certified trainer, behavioral and soft skill trainer who worked for a Reddy Laboratories for the disability people. And his hobbies are he's an avid book reader and a good debater, and he has won many accolades in debate competitions too. His achievements are he has won many accolades in Scouts, NCC, and Rotaract movement. In the past 6 years, he has led Rotaract Club as a president, as a district, and as also a zonal representative. And at present in the Rotaract Club, he is serving as a district secretary, managing the district of 3,190 and 11,000 strong fraternity. And at present, he is working with COPS Concern for Road and Pedestrian Safety as a program director for India. With a warm welcome to you, Chetan. Over it to you, and have a good session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. It's great to be back to college, although I'm physically not present. Virtually, it feels great to be part of it. Just a minute, I'm just figuring out how to share my content.
You can see after video, there is one more content called as share content. Yes.
I got it now. Is it?
Yeah.
Are you able to see it?
We are able to see a blank screen. Yes. Now we are able to see.
Well, okay. First of all, a very good morning to everybody present here. And I thank the management of MSRF and RIMS for providing me with this opportunity to share my limited knowledge, what I've acquired over the years. Thanks to all my teachers from RIMS and also the mentors that I've met on the way. Moving on, well, today, okay, so I'm just, yeah, okay. Ma'am, am I visible? Is it fine?
Yes. It's visible and audible too.
Sure. So not taking much time, let me begin with what I'm here to share. The first portion that I would want to address is we don't work for any organization, right? So let's keep that clear. According to me, any good way that we associate with any organization is we say we work with them. It's not work for them, it's work with them. Let's change the terminology. I've learned this from the business leaders. I was an HR business partner previously at a company called Epsilon. So every time I used to introduce myself outside to people that I was meeting, the moment I say or the moment I utter these words and I say I work for Epsilon, they used to correct me and say, no, you don't work for us, you work with us. So that is what I want to start with. The next time when you're saying I want to work, use the word with rather than the word for. So you say I want to work with so and so organization and so on and so forth. So today's topic is the nuances of the right organization to work with and not to work for. So before we move on, let us understand this first, right? No, most of my presentation today or whatever I'll be sharing is more or less of the right set of questions that you need to ask yourself rather than trying to ascertain what the organization is or who the leader is and so on and so forth. We need to figure out, first what is it that you're looking for and who are you as a person and what are the things that you'll have to do. So the first thing that I would want to start by is by telling, asking this first question to yourself: am I looking out for a job or a career? right? So these are two very different aspectives and different domains that we'll have to understand. uh, Everybody looks out for a job. The moment you say what are you going to do after an MBA, people say I will land a good job, I will work with so and so company and whatnot. But we will have to understand that these are very two different things: a job and a career. So the moment you say job, it is just to go out to work and say I will get a paycheck, I'll be paid, I'll go there, I'll do this, do that, and achieve this. Right? That's a job. It's no more than just getting a paycheck for what you do. But a career means that everything that you do, right, from the day you pass out, or day you graduate from RIMS, to where you see yourself in the next 10 years, that is the career that we are talking about. And that is what I want to start with. All of you, please keep this in mind that we don't look out for a job, we have to look out for a career, right? It basically, what I've written there, it means career is all the experiences, trainings that we do, which will either help us in pay or responsibility, right? So it'll kind of tell us from work, from college to corporate, where you're going and where it'll lead you from there. So the first question that all of you should ask, even before you think of an organization, is: are you looking out for a job or a career? Based on that, you will have to go to the next set of questions, which bring me to this one. Before we even think of talking about organizations, understand this completely, right? Not every firm has the celebrity profile or the resources of a Google or a Facebook, right? Not everybody will give you 15 lakhs per annum the moment you join them, or will they be even able to give you if you are bringing that value to the table. But there are some valuable lessons to learn about what they do as well, right? So not every organization will have that great profile, superb leaders to go out, have that celebrity status. They might even not belong to the Fortune 500 list, but they are still organizations. They're still doing something out there in the market. They have an impact. They do have that share, even if it is 0.5%. That matters, right? So we'll have to understand that. Once you've got it, these are the first set of questions that I want all of you to keep in mind. The organization that you're thinking of, right? Be it for a job or a career. I'm not saying looking out for a job is wrong or looking out for a career is right, but you should understand what you're looking for. Even if it is for a job or a career, first understand, ask this first question: is this the right place to be when I switch off my alarm? And in Bangalore, especially if you have to bear the grunt of the traffic. If you're doing that and going to a place to work, is it worth it? Is it the right place? The follow-up questions you need to ask is, if look at their leaders, right? That's what brings to my first question: will I work with them even if there's no paycheck? I didn't do this the moment I got into my first organization. I will not quote what happened, or I will not tell you what happened there, but then this is what I didn't ask myself: will I work with them even if there's no paycheck? The moment I saw what was written on the paycheck, the moment I saw whatever the company is, how it looks from the outside, what kind of coffee vending machines are there, and all of that, just that pulled me there. And I didn't ask any other questions after that. But later I realized, this is not the right place for me. Even if I'm getting a good paycheck, this is not something that I want to do, right? So understand these questions: do you care about the impact the organization is making in the world? If yes, then how will you contribute? You'll have to ask that question. Now, the impact, I'm not saying there is positive, negative, good, bad impact, nothing of that sort. The word that I'm using here is what the organization is making in the world. For example, if you take, Bounds or Wicked Ride, for example, the impact that they're making is they're giving you rides, they're making, your commute easier. Is this the kind of impact that you want to associate with? If you look at PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, they're trying to ease your way into taxation, filing, and all of that. Do you want to be part of that impact? Right. So you will have to be very clear on the impact that the organization is making, and all of these you don't have to ask whoever is working in the company. You don't have to go spy on people. You don't have to, uh, you know, uh, stalk them on social media and whatever. These are just the moment you type any company's name, every review that you get, you will understand what they're doing, right? Or just the company's website, they will tell you what they're trying to achieve. The moment you see that, if you're interested, if that excites you, it tingles some sensation, you say, okay, right, now this is the start. Even if they don't pay me, I want to do this because this is something that excites me. Right? The moment you do that, go to the second question: will they appreciate the true me? So this, I'm talking about the culture in the organization. The moment you understood what the organization is trying to do in the log and run or whatever they're trying to do now, then you'll have to look at the culture. Now, how do you look at the culture of the organization? Picture yourself on a happy day, right? Today you've got up, you're feeling super excited on the course of the day or how it has been. End of the day, you sit and you think about it and you feel, you know what? I'm so happy today. Everything just went right. Picture yourself on that day, how you were, what you were feeling, how things went, what did you do, what all did you achieve, was it good for you, did you feel any stress, all of that, keep that in mind. And mirror the same thing the moment you get think of working with that organization. Picture yourself and say, okay, wait, this organization works this way, this is the culture that they're talking to me about. Will I be happy there? And if I am happy, will I be appreciated the way I am? Right, so these are very two important things. First, you should understand the culture of the organization. Again, you don't have to do anything. It is right there. The moment you talk to an interviewer, the moment how they treat you, how much you're waiting to get in line, the kind of follow-ups they give on email, the kind of words that you're using to talk to you, you will understand. And obviously, we will have people who are working there. Even if not, we'll find people who are working there and just talk to them and say, you know what, how's the company there you're working at? So the moment you understand the culture, you should figure it out for yourself. There's no trick to it, there's no science to it. It is about your self-consciousness, right? You kind of understand, okay, this is me on a happy day. Now, if I go to work there, will I be happy there? Or is this the same that I'll be? And then will I be appreciated? Because we've seen, me as a HR business partner, I've seen attrition. And the main cause for attrition, one, is because they don't, complement the core values of the organization. There'll be certain values that every organization has. If they don't gel well with the values, they're not able to work there, because anything and everything depends on the values. And as rimsians, we understand the importance of values in our college. And initially we might have fought it, but then we get used to it, and some of us start missing it all as well. But it's not the same with work, right? You cannot say, let me go in now, let me see how it works, and if it's not happening, let me figure it out. Because you're not paying here to do the job, somebody else is paying you, so you kind of have that stand for yourself. So we'll have to understand if the culture is right. If yes, will I be appreciated? Then the next question that you need to ask is, will I be willing to do this for the rest of my life? Okay, this is very important. Probably this coincides with the question every interviewer asks. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 6 years, or just 7, 8 years down the line? They're not asking to kind of understand how much you've thought about it. They just want to know if you are willing to do whatever you've been hired for, right? Will you be able to do or deliver in whatever they're hiring you for, whatever position in the work that you're doing? Now, before you even go sit in front of an interviewer, you need to ask for yourself. If I'm joining as a tax associate at XYZ organization, will I be willing to do this for the rest of my life? If you feel, no, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, ask the next question. Why not? What is stopping me? Then you will figure out your interest does not lie here, but somewhere else. That is where you say, okay, right, I don't even want to present myself for the interview. Let me prepare well and go for another organization which kind of coincides or excites me. Or if you feel that, yes, I want to be a person in the domain of taxation or filing and all of that for the rest of my life, think again and ask why. Is it because my strengths lie in accounts? Is it because I'm a good person, I pay attention to detail and all of that? Not just this field that I'm talking about, anything, right? These two first important question you ask, and then you go up to these follow-up questions. The moment you answer it, write it down, go through it once again, talk to people, be very vocal about it. The moment you communicate to others, right? People are very critical. Just talk to random people and your friends and say, you know what, this is what I want to do, and listen what they're trying to tell you. There are times when your friend or anybody that you're talking to might know some of your values even before you would have recognized or even if you thought about it. So listen for those kind of words from them, and then you understand, okay, fine, this is making sense, or they're also trying to tell what was there in my head. So then let me go ahead, right? So these are very just over the top questions that you need to answer for yourself. Now, all of these questions, there is no right or wrong answer. It is what your gut tells you, right? You can put all of these questions to anybody who's there on the call. You can ask Murli sir, you can ask Dhanalakshmi ma'am. Everybody will have their own perspectives, right? They're doing because whatever they're doing currently is because it is right for them, and they feel valued and they feel appreciated wherever they are. So my suggestion is don't ask people to answer this for you. Rather, answer this for yourself, and then be vocal about your answer. Ask suggestions. That is the best way to do it. Otherwise, you just get caught in web because 1,000 people will give you 10,000 perspectives of whatever things are. So again, you get lost. You will lose the whole point of doing this exercise. Moving on, after you've kind of thought about all of those 3 questions or those follow up and all of that, then probably go out to an interview and say, what, I've got all of these. Let me work on it, and you kind of ask what is remuneration and things and all of that. But people stop at that, right? The moment you go to Glassdoor reviews and you say, I've answered these questions, I want to say how much I get paid for it. The moment you look at remuneration, it says whatever it says, and you're happy with it, people stop asking questions there. The moment an interviewer throws a number at you, asks you what you're expecting, you say, I'm okay with, for example, hypothetically, you say, I'm okay with 3 lakhs per annum. The moment they throw 3.75 or 4 lakhs, the numbers out there, you're just there. You say, okay, I've got more than what I've asked. So let me just stop here. I don't want to fiddle too much into whatever they're offering me and kind of lose what they're giving me. That's something that I also did in the beginning. And, that's what led me to stop wherever I'm working, come back, again, start afresh from somewhere, and then settle down where I'm currently. So this important question that I've learned on the way on my journey from college to corporate is the moment you understand or the moment you love what is written on the paycheck, give follow-up questions, either to yourself or to the interviewer, or just randomly put it out there. Will you be encouraged to learn more or work more based on what you've learned? Right. So ask this question. So let me take some time and run you through this. When I say will I be encouraged to learn more, you will learn more definitely on the work that you're doing, right? To try and deliver more, to try and put more value in the work that you're doing or what you've been given, or to achieve more. Will you be able to do that? Or the organization says you've got an MBA, you've done finance, marketing, HR, uh, whatever that you've chosen, and you've got through, you're graduated. I want you to start delivering from what you've learned. Let's stop learning there. I want you to start delivering. Will the organization use these words? So you'll have to be very careful, because even if you don't start learning right, there is always your junior right there from RIMS again, who will come back to you, who will again give an interview and take over position above you. Or rather, you will start reporting to them. There are instances where this has happened, not because the individual did not want to learn, or because the individual did not have the capacity to learn, because the organization did not give them the opportunity, right? So every organization will not thoroughly say or openly come out and say, you know what, you can work for so much amount of time, rest, let's put it out for learning. Nobody does that, but you will have to figure out a balance. And these are the follow-up questions you need to ask for yourself, and also at the interview, or whenever you're looking at an organization that you want to work for. Because all of your dream jobs are not cushy jobs, right? They want you to work, they want you to give value. The moment you give value, only they reciprocate in terms of remuneration, or your opportunities and all of that. So understand the balance. Again, there is no right or wrong balance. It is totally up to you. If you want to grow, if you want to climb up the stairs, you need to learn. You need to understand what are the things that are in trend now, what will help me to grow more. If I'm not able to do part of my work properly, what skill should I learn, or what are the things that I need to go through, what course should I take so that this becomes easy. If this is stressing me out at work, I don't want to stress here. This is what I've left to learn. Now, when you do this, will the organization allow you to do that, right? To go out and learn in the office times, or provide you opportunities to learn? These questions are important. The moment you answer or you question these, they'll understand what you are, what you're looking at, and all of that. And then that is what will help you retain a position in the organization as well. The second is, will I grow only my appetite for a paycheck, or the value which will be followed by a paycheck, right? So people say, the moment every time I'm using the word growth here, I'm sure most of them would have thought that growth in an organization is going to a higher position, or adding more zeros to whatever numbers that you've got. Let me put your thoughts to stop. That is not growth, or what I've learned. Paycheck or a designation, that is not growth, guys. It is all about the value that you build for yourself. It is something called sweat equity, right? What value you've achieved, or what you've developed over the years, and what people perceive you to be. Now, you should understand that this organization, will it, is it pushing me to just achieve numbers? Is it pushing me to go out and say, I've achieved this, I get this incentive. If I do so much time, I stay with them, they give me bonus, whatnot. There are so many things that people do you with. But you should understand that, is it the value that I'll be gaining in out in the market if I work for them? And when I'm working for them, what is it that I'm doing so that I gain value? For example, if I start off as an HR business partner, where will I be? What am I doing? If I'm taking exit interviews, I'm looking at analytics, I'm looking at attrition, I'm looking at leaders, how they work, how their teams work. What value am I bringing to the table, or what value that I'm gaining for myself doing this work? Can I say over the period of time, or 2 years down the line, when I'm taking exit interviews, I can come up and say, you know what, I've got another idea how we can conduct exit interviews, or what we can derive out of exit interviews, so that we are able to pinpoint the exact reason why people are leaving us, right? Will I be able to do that? Do I have that opportunity to do that? You should understand this. It's not just about growing a paycheck. The moment I have this value, I bring this value to them and say, you know what, I figured this out, because I've got that opportunity. I've been working on this. The moment you bring it to the table and say, you know what, this is the idea, your paycheck will automatically follow. People will not hesitate. You don't have to be worried at your whatever check-ins that you will have to kind of realize what incentive you will get, or how your pay will grow over the years and all of that. You don't have to do that or worry about it, right? So keep this in mind. The value that you derive will only give you a paycheck, not just designations or whatever you're doing, right? The next important thing is, will I learn to survive now or for the rest of my life, right? For example, if you join as a fresher at any organization, and you start afresh, you're doing something, they give you skills, right? Everybody gives you skills. They give you training, they give you progression trainings, courses, and all of that. But you should understand that, or you should kind of question or look at the organization in such a way that, will the skills that I achieve, or I'm exposed to during my course there, is it something that will help me survive right now at that organization, or will it help me throughout my life, right? For example, when I joined organization at Dr. Reddy's, they kind of pushed me to go get certified as a behavioral trainer and a soft skills trainer. Initially, it was just behavior. I didn't look at soft skills because I thought I knew everything and all of that. But then during at one session, I kind of figured out that soft skills also a huge chunk of it. You'll have to understand. Sorry, they kind of understood that I need to learn more. And the moment I enrolled to that course, I kind of understood that behavior and soft skills will not just only work for this organization, but will also be with me throughout my life. There's no expiry date on this certification, and that kind of interested me, right? And that's when I understood that organizations will help you, or will teach you stuff, or expose you to stuff, or courses rather, for them to derive the best out of you. But you should also think, or kind of go into detail and ask them, or ask yourself rather, is this course going to, or is this skill going to help me throughout my life? If you're a taxation guy, or if you're doing some taxes out there, you would see you get courses for you to be certified. And you can also, even if you don't work for that organization anymore, you can come out and set up shop on your own, right? You should understand, will that organization, or the job that you're looking at, or the domain you're looking at, will it help you survive for the rest of your life, right? So these 6 questions that you ask yourself are very vital for you to even choose, and you broadly go out and say, you know what, out the list, in what domain I'm interested, these are the organizations. So I'll stop there. Any questions that you guys would want to ask at this point, or should we continue?
Chetan?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Chetan. This is Professor Prasad.
Yes, sir.
Chetan, I just want to add to what you were saying at this point in time for the benefit of the others. I want to talk about skilling, upskilling, and reskilling.
Yes.
Okay. It's a continuous cycle where you have to build skills, you have to upgrade your skills, and then you may have to forget some of the skills that you learned in the past and then reskill yourself. That's the most important point. Second one is don't wait for responsibilities to be given to you, grab them in your workplace. And the third one I want to end with is if you love your job, you don't have to work for a single day. Right? So I thought these 3 points were very apt at this point in time. And I'm sorry I interrupted. And I must tell the other participant that I am supremely proud of you, Chetan. Carry on.
Thank you, sir. Also, yeah, rightly said, sir. This is what that kind of kept me on those words which says, if you love the job, you don't work for a day, right? I still keep working. I'm there 24 hours, just logging, doing stuff, and all of that. I don't feel stressed. The reason because I'm loving what I do. I don't feel like I'm working or I'm doing anything. I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. So thank you, sir. Thank you for that. And beautifully put, sir. When you say upskilling or reskilling, there are certain skills that we would have learned and we say, we're best at it. For me, at one point of time, I thought I'm best at certain things. Nobody can beat me. I'm very good at it. And, that's how I've been doing things all along. All of these changed when I joined my first corporate job. The moment I walked in, whatever I was good at, those are the things I was put down for. I was asked to recheck. I came to a stage wherein, I was just sending out a mail for someone to talk to me or just say, what, I need to conduct an exit interview today. Are you free? This mail I checked for about, 14, 15 times before I sent it out, just 3 lines. Before that, I was like supremely, proud of my communication, the language that I had acquired and all of that. But at that point of time, the way things were put at me, just there, they're saying people expecting things out of me. I was not prepared for, right? That was not the job that I was prepared for. I just went there for the paycheck. So the moment I sat there, the kind of stress that I took, it's just unforgettable. But thanks to that, it kind of, I came back and I said, you know what, this is not the right place. I'm taking a seat of somebody who's, the best for the job, and it's not the right place for me to be in. I came down, took my time, went to another organization. Now, currently where I am, I kind of delegate people to write mails to other people. I kind of hold a team in India. I kind of work, but I still don't feel, that I'm working. I don't have that stress, and I don't, go back and check if this thing is right, if my idea is right, because I know I'm super strong in the ideation part itself. So you'll have to be very clear in terms of where you want to be, why you want to be, and what are the skills that you have, which will help you to be there, right? So moving on, just, yeah. After you kind of understood, right, ask these questions, those 6 questions on what the organization is, how will it help me go out in life, will it be the right place, and all of that. Then you kind of figure out, is this the only one in the market doing this, right? If you're looking at training, right, you go to an XYZ organization, or if you're looking at finance, or you're looking at marketing or sales, whatever that you're interested in, you will have one dream job in mind or one dream organization in mind. After you ask these questions that I've told you, once you do this exercise, you'll have more people there in the list. And if you still feel that, my still that dream organization is there, again, ask these questions to yourself and say, is this the only one in the market doing this? Are there more people? And kind of figure out who's the key player of the market. If I am looking at training for people with disability, I would go and say Dr. Reddy's Foundation from Reddy Labs is doing that. He's the key player. Then I say, who else is doing this? Right? There are so many people who are doing that. And then I still ask myself, if Dr. Reddy's Foundation is at the top, why is he there? What innovative things are they doing? And all of that. Now, once you ask these questions, then you kind of, it translates for you to the kind of homework that you do even before you sit for an interview, right? If somebody asks you, what do you know about the organization? All that you've asked yourself, and you can just put it out there. You can say, you know what, you're doing this. There are others in the market also doing this, but then you're doing something innovative. Your USP is such that you're a key player. The interview is just flowed because you've done so much research. And this research is not just to clear that interview, but for you to understand, is it the right organization that you're choosing? Now, after you've answered these questions, some of you might be able to answer, some of you might say, no, I'm not able to do this. That's where you go and seek mentors, right? You reach out to your mentors, either your professors or people who've been in the industry for long, or random people on LinkedIn that you are able to figure out, network with. And once you answer this, right, then you go and say, associate with them and seek value, right? You necessarily don't always bring value to the table. You also gain certain value because you're associated with the organization. Now, that is what you will have to, that is the follow-up question that you will have to give and say, this guy is there, or this organization is there, they're the top, they're doing this is their USP, they're best out there. I've answered all the questions. Now, if I join them, what is the value that I'll be getting? Now, the value again is not in terms of monetary benefits or other benefits that you might get. The value is in terms of skilling, as Prasad sir told, in terms of how you grow as a person, the kind of ideas, the kind of maturity that you get when you kind of think, the mindfulness, your consciousness, your self-worth that you kind of understand. You should kind of, ask yourself. I'm sure at this point it seems too philosophical, but unless you try it, you will not understand the importance of it. These are certain things that I missed. Uh, I kind of let go of many good opportunities because I did not ask the right set of questions. There are organizations that I regret not joining now because I didn't ask good questions. Now when I see people, I meet them, I meet their leaders on a regular basis for various things, and when they talk about the organization, or when they talk how their team treats them, I kind of regret not joining them. Uh, I don't want you guys doing it, so please ensure that you ask these questions. And if you go out to Google, you'll get a zillion more questions. But this is something that I've put together with my limited knowledge. Still seek out, ask more questions, right? That is when you will kind of understand, is this the organization that I want to be in, and what should I do? Moving on. This is something that we kind of don't address. The moment we say the best organization, I've done everything, uh, we come to this point, you say this was perfect. This could have been the perfect story with a happy ending, that I got the offer, I got the job and all of that. But it doesn't happen always, right? We kind of ask, why did we get rejected? Four simple things. The moment you think about an organization, is it a job, is it a career, is it giving you learning and all of that? Ask these questions if you don't get through that dream job, right? Along with the curriculum that I was learning, did I learn about myself? Because for me, masters is not just only understanding intricacies of business management. It's also about understanding who you are as a person. So think back to those times and you say, did you really put give time and understanding about yourself along with the curriculum? If not, then that you're not landing any job. Trust me, you might get something, but it's not right. Like you need to understand this along with the curriculum. Did I learn about myself? Then the second thing is, did I communicate my aspirations for working with them or not? Keeping all of these in mind, everybody is like super skilled. There are people that I've seen in my batch as well, super skilled, amazing guys whom I've learned stuff from, who I still follow in the way they conduct themselves, or their ideals, or the way they just present themselves. But they're still not able to land something good. They're not happy with whatever they're doing right now. This is because then we're not able to communicate their aspirations for being there with an organization. So you'll also have to think about this. The reason I'm putting the slide at the last is because I want you to do this first, and I want to leave you guys with this message, right? So answer these first 4 questions, and that is when you can even think of looking out for the job or presenting yourself for an interview. And then the third important thing is, was I honest in answering the questions I asked myself before accepting to meet them? Understand that the moment you look at an organization, the moment you sit in an interview, your answers is not for you to get a job or a career. It is for you to understand the organization better and the organization to understand you better, right? It's perfectly all right. My own example, I was always wanted to join the armed forces, wear the uniform and be there. I've always been busted out at the last moment. Like if tomorrow I'll have to join the academy, I get a letter today that I'm not there in the merit. If I go to the academy, I come out because of medical issues. There are lots of things that have happened, and this is something that I missed. I was not honest in answering the questions I asked myself. Probably army was not the best place for me. I didn't have it in me, because they always have this quote. The moment you look at any defense advertisements, they say, do you have it in you? Probably I didn't have it in me, and if I had asked these questions right before, I could have, I'm not saying I could have done something better, but I could have focused better is what I'm saying. uh, right, so ask yourself these questions, that or this question especially, that were you honest in answering the questions I asked myself before accepting to meet them? Have you been honest to yourself, saying, this is what I need, this is the organization I need to be in, and this is what I need to keep doing for the rest of my life? The last thing, why am I still thinking about it instead of preparing for the next one? Right now, if you don't get through anything, it does not mean it's the end of the world. You'll have to stop there and say, you know what, I still go back and I think, why didn't I clear that interview? Or why didn't I get that promotion? Or why didn't I get selected for this project? Or why was my idea not put out there? All of that, I still think. But at that point of time, the moment I realize, okay, this is what didn't go right, I stop there and I say, you know what, let's go ahead. Keeping that in mind, I will not do that again, or hopefully to that extent, but let me move on. That's what I want you guys to keep in mind. Even if you're not landing the dream organization, dream job, a number of interviews, you're getting rejected, you're not able to make it, it's still fine. It's still fine, right? There are better things, but stop thinking about it too much. Think about it to an extent where you are able to figure out what went wrong, or even if you're not able to do it, absolutely fine, just move on to the next one, right? So having said that, I didn't want to take much time, uh, so let me leave you with this. I usually do Sanskrit quotes, I do inspirational quotes and all of that, but over a period of time I've understood that all of that doesn't work, because we almost all of us feel that every inspirational quote does not work because we don't even try it. Right? Somebody says hard work is the key to success. We say, what hard work, man? Let's do smart work, because we've never tried doing hard work, uh, because of which we achieve something. So that we say every inspirational quote is there. So these three images, walk towards your target, but be very mindful about where you're walking, why you're walking, and whom you're walking. So that's about what I wanted to share. Thank you. And Dhanalakshmi ma'am, if there's any questions, I would like to take it.
Oh, thank you, Chetan. It was an awful presentation. You made our participants to self-analyze for themselves before you go for their dream career or the dream job, and do the self-analysis. Okay, I'll give it over to the participants for any queries or any questions for the participants. From the participants to Chetan, any queries?
Chetan, this is Professor Prasad again. Sorry for interrupting time and again. For the benefit of others, Chetan was the best fresher when he joined the college. And I had a lot of expectations from Chetan about today's webinar. And I must confess that you have more than lived up to my expectations.
Thank you, sir.
Good way to go. Right?
Thank you, sir.
So I would urge all the other participants to pick Chetan's brains. And I'm actually amazed at the kind of maturity that he was playing. It was almost like listening to a person with about 8-10 years experience. Right? I'm being very frank. I have learned a few things from your presentation today. Right?
Thank you, sir.
And I would urge all the other participants not to pick Chetan's brains and ask as many questions as possible. Thank you.
Any questions from the participants? You're free to ask him any questions.
Okay, so if none of you have any questions, I've put my phone number and also my email ID on the chat. So if anybody at any point of time you would want to know something, or you want to get connected to somebody after the industry, please reach out to me. But there on LinkedIn, I would urge you guys to please use LinkedIn, because that's what helped me land all of the things that I'm doing right now. So my name is still the same. It's Chetan U Naidu at LinkedIn also. So please drop in a message on LinkedIn or on mail. I would not entertain WhatsApp. The reason, because you kind of get used to it. It's very easy to just drop a text there on WhatsApp. Please start using the official communication channels, be it LinkedIn or email ID. I would definitely reply to you guys there. Any questions, please bring it out to me there. Don't feel that this is something that I shouldn't have asked, or this is something that does not interest me or whatsoever. If it's a question, it's a question. Either I answer it or I point you out to the right person who can answer it. So probably we can connect more there. Having said that, thanks a lot, ma'am, Dhanalakshmi ma'am, Prasad sir, Murali sir, and the management of MSRF. All that I am today, sir, I owe it to you guys. It's all because of all the professors there and all my batchmates who've kind of been very critical in terms of what I am today. Thanks a lot, sir. Hoping to do my best as an alumni, as a proud alumni of RIMS, and to try to give back in at least small amounts of what I could to the college. Thank you, ma'am.
You have been, you have been giving a more value to us from the long time where we have been seeing in the Rotaract Club, and a very good leader. And even recently you had been as a moderator for our event also. And he's been contributing a lot to the RIMS, and we have been noticing him a lot. He's been contributing to the Rotaract Club, and proud you to be with us as an alumni and be in touch with us. And we would like to see you in the great heights, and many of them to be inspired and to see you more and see and follow you. Thank you so much, Chetan, for accepting our invitation and joining with us and giving your session for the day. And as a formal vote of thanks, as there are no queries so far from the participants, I would conclude the session with just giving a formal vote of thanks. I thank Dr. Pattabhiram sir, and I also thank Dr. Radha ma'am, the dean, and I thank all the faculty members who are, and especially again, thanks to Murali sir, and also thank you Prasad sir, and also thanks Srinivas Ashwath sir, who is behind the screen, the technical team, and Manu, and also all the faculty members. Without their support, we would have not been done this. And also thank you for all the participants who have been constantly with us joining for the alumni series. And tomorrow is the last day for the alumni web series. And hope you all are there with us tomorrow also. Thank you and all, and have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chetan.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you all.